Welcome to a live reunion episode of The Chef and the Dietitian. I'm Chef AJ and I'm Julieanna Hever, the Plant-Based Dietitian. And together, we're The Chef and the Dietitian. And we make healthy taste delicious. Thank you. So like I say, if you go to YouTube, you can see about 65 episodes. Of course, the music would start right now during our demo, just as luck would have it. You can see 65 episodes of The Chef and the Dietitian, where we show you how to make healthy, delicious food, and Julieanna tells you nutritionally why this food is good. So we've got 5 delicious recipes for you today, and we'll get started right away. Now, Julieanna, if you had only one thing, if people were only going to make one change in the direction of optimum health, what would be the first thing you would tell them maybe to do, maybe to give up or switch?
And I would say to try to crowd out your foods by eating more health-promoting foods. Bring in those leafy green vegetables, bring in the 3 servings of legumes every day, making sure you're getting a rainbow every single day. So bringing in as many wonderful foods so that you crowd out the not so wonderful foods.
I'm glad she said that because we're going to be using lots of legumes today. But if people could only give up one animal food, what would you tell them to give up first?
I always tell people to give up dairy first.
Good answer, because I'm going to show you how to make your own.
Perfect, we didn't plan that.
So I became vegan in 1977. There was no plant milk in a box. You guys are lucky. You can go to the 99-cent store in Walmart and get hemp milk and oat milk and quinoa milk and every kind of flax milk. So why not make your own? It's better for the environment, it's cheaper, and it's tastier. So we're going to show you how to make hemp milk. And why are hemp seeds so good for us?
Hemp seeds are so fabulous because they're high in omega-3 fatty acids especially, and it's a good source of plant protein. Everyone's always worried about protein. Still to this day, I get that question on a daily basis. Oh, where do you get your protein? And this is a wonderful, healthy source. But just remember that if you're eating whole plant foods, you can't not get enough protein.
That's right. Can't be protein deficient unless you're calorie deficient, right?
Exactly. Yeah, all the physicians and healthcare practitioners I know, we have never seen a protein deficiency in modern times without calorie deficiency.
Okay, so here we have 3 cups of water. I've chilled it because most people like their non-dairy milks cold. And all I'm going to do is add 3 tablespoons of hemp seeds, which you can get really cheaply at Costco now. We actually didn't make hemp milk. We made almond milk with pistachio milk with Dr. Joel Furman. Yeah. But that's it. That took 2 seconds. You don't need to have a high-powered blender, although they're great. If you want it sweet, we recommend you add
some maple syrup or date.
A pitted date. If you want it vanilla-y, you add vanilla beans, some vanilla powder, some vanilla extract. But this will keep in your refrigerator 3 to 5 days in a glass jar. It's delicious, it's cheap, it's easy.
And it's a good base for a smoothie. If you want to put that into a smoothie, you've got a plant milk ready to go.
And for a soup as well. I mean, not a base for a soup, but when you have cream soups that have you adding dairy milk, add some non-dairy milk. You're going to be eating some granola, so maybe you'll want that milk. So the next recipe is going to be because we're telling you giving up dairy would be one of the best things you can do. So how about some Parmesan cheese? Well, it's not really Parmesan cheese, it's faux Parmesan cheese. And we did make this in an episode, but this is the enlightened version. There are some people out there that can't eat nuts. Maybe they're a patient of Dr. Esselstyn's or they're allergic. So here's a great way to make faux Parmesan cheese. I have 1 cup of oats. These are gluten-free. And 1 cup of Nooch, which is nutritional yeast. Now, why is nutritional yeast so delicious and so good for us?
It is so delicious. And the wonderful thing Nutritional is making is it's loaded with B vitamins. Including B12, which is very hard to find in a plant-based diet. Although I still recommend that you supplement with your vitamin B12, 2,000 to 2,500 micrograms a week, cyanocobalamin. But this is a wonderful way to get it and to add flavor. I like it mostly for the flavor basis.
It's what us vegans do for cheese. So what I'm going to do is add a tablespoon of my favorite salt-free seasoning, which is called Bensons Table Tasty. Unfortunately, she moved from Pasadena. You can only get it online now, but it is worth it. It's such a good substitute for salt. And so you don't need necessarily a blender for this. You could also use your food processor, but it's so easy to make. It keeps in your fridge forever. It's a great topping for chili and baked potatoes, even broccoli. See how quick and easy that is? And we're going to use it on the chili today. Vegan 39 years, number one question I get from people is, how do you do this quickly? How do you do this affordably? They say, I would be vegan if I only had enough time and money. This is how. You get yourself an Instant Pot electric pressure cooker. Using my name AJ, you get $50 off at instantpot.com, and you can have dinner on the table so quickly. What I like about the Instant Pot is it has a stainless steel insert as opposed to a non-stick, and you literally just throw everything in. This recipe didn't even require a can opener. It only required a scissors, or we just tore everything open. So we have a bag of onions. This is 3 cups if you want to be exact. We're going to make a black bean mushroom chili, 3 cups of chopped onions, and there's also some garlic in there, 8 cloves to be exact. What would black bean chili be without black beans? And we're using 3 of these aseptic cartons without salt. And tell again why legumes are so good for us.
Legumes are wonderful because they have lysine in them. They've got all of the essential amino acids, but a vegetarian diet or plant-based diet may fall short in lysine, one of the amino acids, if you don't include legumes in them. But they're also wonderful sources of soluble fiber, which is really important for lowering blood cholesterol and for a million reasons. Fiber and phytonutrients are the 2 most health-promoting nutrients out there, and the best place to get them is from beans. Any kind of beans, any kind of lentil, any kind of peas, I recommend 3 servings a day. So that's half a cup each, about 1.5 cups a day. And this is a great way to get them because you could blend whatever kind you like, and you could do them from the box, you could do them from the can, you could do them, make them straight in there.
Once you get a pressure cooker, it'll take like 10 minutes to cook, so it's another great reason to get it. We've got 28 ounces of fire roasted tomatoes. You can also get these salt-free in a can.
And the cool thing here is that you've got vitamin C in the tomatoes, and it's going to help the absorption of the iron from the beans to have it together with the tomatoes.
She said,
my microphone. Can you hear me? Oh, okay. The tomatoes, the cool thing about this is synergy. So the tomatoes have vitamin C in them. So the vitamin C is going to help the absorption of the iron that you find happen beautifully only in nature.
Next, I'm going to add 3 pounds of mushroom. I'm using crimini. You can use whatever kind you want. The pressure cooker is now full. So the last thing is going to be 1 pound of organic fire roasted corn. I will add that at the end because mushrooms are high in water. They'll cook down. Now here's a tip. People generally don't eat 30 different dinners in the month. They have favorites. So what I do is, I know I'm going to make this every week. I measure out my spices in advance for all the soups and stews. This is a tablespoon of oregano, a tablespoon of cumin, half a tablespoon of smoked paprika, which is different than regular paprika, and half a teaspoon of chipotle powder.
I started doing that because of you.
Yeah, it's so good. I put the top on, and I'm going to put 6 minutes on the pressure cooker. If you could only have one appliance, this would be the one I would get because it's a game changer. It's a life changer. I come home from work, I put the stuff in, I walk my dog who's in the 4th row. You want to hold up my dog and show everybody my dog? Yeah, yay! Rescues are the best, guys. Woohoo! So please adopt, don't shop. So get a pressure cooker. Now this won't take 6 minutes from this second. It will take 6 minutes from when it comes up to pressure. That could take 10 or 15 minutes, but who cares? Dinner's going to be ready in 20 minutes or less. Now I will turn it over to Julieanna. She's going to make a recipe from her new book.
Yeah, so this is from the Vegetarian diet. Now, I'm really a big fan. Like I said, I'm always a busy working mom, and I really love to just throw things all together. That's the easiest way for me to cook. I don't like to measure, I don't like to weigh or anything. Make it very, very simple. So what I did, this is a quinoa tabbouleh. So my book is Vegetarian diet, so it's Mediterranean style. So this is a combination of an Israeli salad, a quinoa, and a tabbouleh all thrown together into one big pot. And I'm really excited because I found these cute mason jars at Target yesterday, and they have different sizes, and I'm so proud of my mise en place because it's so pretty. So I'm going to see if this works from here. Okay, so basically, and really the measurements don't have to be perfect. And this also is a complete meal. I like this one because it's totally complete. All your amino acids, everything you could possibly want is found in all of this, and vitamins and minerals and antioxidants. So about 2 cups of quinoa already cooked. And again, you could throw this in the pressure cooker, and you could do this on Sunday and make a big vat of it, and it'll last you all week. So that's what I do. I make like a big vat of this, a big vat of the rice and beans. And this is about, let's say 2 cups. I'm just going to leave room. I had to bring a small bowl because we were carrying it. And then it's about a can worth, or made your own 14-15 ounces of garbanzo beans. And then I chopped up some tomatoes, some baby grape tomatoes. And these are just, it's probably about a cup or 2. However many you like. And again, there's no right, it's not like a baking recipe where it has to be perfectly precise, which is what I like about it. Simple is the best. I like simple. Plus this is almost a fat fat-free meal. This is almost 100% fat-free. There's no oil.
And you know what's great is a lot of these ingredients you could even find, like if you went to a Whole Foods salad bar, you could combine them, and even if you didn't have them on hand, make it like at Whole Foods.
Totally, very, very easy. And then this, I guess I should have opened this ahead of time, but it gives me more time to talk about this fun stuff. So this is fresh mint. I love fresh herbs because it means it feels like you're tasting a bite of freshness, right? And if you could just get, especially now we're in Southern California and they grow really nicely, but fresh mint adds so much different flavor. And any kind of mints any kind of herbs you like, what I do is I just get a bunch of them, I wash them all on Sunday after I go to the farmer's market, I chop them all kind of together sometimes, and I just keep them in a bowl. And I throw them in my salads, I throw them in my soups, I throw them in everything, and it just adds a lot of flavor to anything you could possibly make. So that was some mint, a couple tablespoons. Here's some fresh scallions. And then this is basil, flat leaf parsley. Basil would be good in here too though. That is it. And then literally the dressing is just pure lemon juice, about 2 to 3 tablespoons of lemon juice. And then some pepper and salt if you want. You can add some garlic. But again, like right now I like the snap peas that are out there, so I'll use the wrong chop. I'll use some snap peas and chop it up just to add some extra vegetables. But there really is a very, very simple salad, and you can make it anytime. And it's very filling because of all the fiber.
Isn't quinoa also high in lysine, I heard?
Quinoa has all of the essential amino acids all in one spot. So it's a really kind of a superfood, if you will. We don't love the term superfood, but it is one of the top, just really nutritious, delicious foods. And very versatile culinarily speaking, right? Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, because quinoa you can use for savory or sweet, and there's red quinoa and black quinoa, and white quinoa, and tricolored quinoa.
You can make it sweet or savory or crunchy or, yeah. That's it. That was it. How quick was that?
Look at that. 4 recipes in like 4 minutes. I mean, come on. Now, we hope this will be ready while you're still here, but you are going to taste the next recipe that I'm making, which is granola. It uses a dehydrator, so you're going to need to wait 48 hours, and then you'll all be able to taste it. Kidding. I'm going to show you how to make it. And you know, I know one of the questions we always get is, well, can I make this in the oven? You can, but the problem with ovens is if you look at your oven, and most ovens don't go lower than 200 degrees, but most dehydrators don't go higher than about 155 degrees. So what a dehydrator is this big box, or sometimes it's round with a fan, and all it does is take the moisture out, it dries, whereas ovens bake. And I find that when I make these recipes in the oven, they tend to burn. I have to babysit. I like things that are set it, forget it, and so that's why I like using a dehydrator. You don't have to get the $179 Excalibur, but if you can, it's fabulous. You get a $40 dehydrator at Walmart or Costco called the Nesco, which just is good. So I'm going to actually make 1/5 of the entire recipe. Don't dehydrate just a little bit. I mean, do the whole 9 trays. So
yeah, if you're going to do it and wait that long, you might as well do it all the way.
So the recipe calls for 4 pounds of oats. I like the extra thick. It's just more toothsome, but it doesn't matter.
The steel cut?
Well, actually, not the steel cut, the regular, but it's like an extra thick cut. It's just got a little bit more toothsome texture. But any rolled oat is fine. We just happen to be gluten-free, so we get the gluten-free. And then, so the ingredients are 4 pounds of oats, 1.5 cups of almond meal, which is just ground almonds, or you can use flax seeds. The thing is if you don't put any fat in this recipe, it will totally work, but you won't get the clumps. And what people seem to like about granola are those big, really crunchy clumps. And so the little bit of fat helps it clump. And my spices are a tablespoon of cinnamon and 1/2 teaspoon of cardamom. This is 1/5 of the recipe, so obviously this isn't as much.
I love cardamom. That's so interesting. Yeah. It's such an interesting Indian flavor.
And so instead of sugar, I believe in using the fruit, the whole fruit, nothing but the whole fruit, so help me God. And so this is date paste. I use the recipe on my book on process, page 65, and the way I make date paste is I take 1 pound of dates, pitted, and 1 cup of water, and I let them soak, and then I process them in a food processor fitted with the S-blade, and then you can use this on your toast, you can use this to dip apples, so you don't really need to eat sugar, in my opinion, because dates are nature's candy.
And both of us did the same thing. We used to eat all these date-sweetened desserts, and we still love them when we switched over from eating processed sugary foods. And both of us, it was around the same time, AJ. Yeah. We're like, ooh, this date paste is getting really sweet. And all of a sudden, fruit is getting, like, everything got sweeter and sweeter, too.
Even sweet potatoes sometimes.
Yeah, and fruit, yeah. It's so weird. So it literally now, and I've seen this with now hundreds of my clients, where your palate adjusts so dramatically, you don't even want refined sweetness.
It's really weird. I mean, I ate nothing but sugar for 43 years, and it's just amazing. I'd rather eat, food now. This is actually too sweet for me. So this is 1 cup of date paste. I'm wearing gloves.
Ew.
I do recommend using food service gloves unless you want to get this all over your hand. And also, if you're cooking for other people, try to make sure your gloves are latex free, because I've heard of, you know, catering parties where they weren't and people could get really sick if they have a latex allergy. And so all you do after you smush it up is you just
Smush it up is the culinary term.
that's right. That's you smush it up. You put it on the dehydrator sheet, either with something called a Teflex, which is non-stick, or a piece of parchment paper. And how long you dehydrate it really depends how crunchy you want it. I like to dehydrate the heck out of my stuff, and it lasts forever.
How thick should the,
You know, maybe an eighth of an inch to a quarter of an inch. The thinner you do it, the quicker it will dehydrate. The higher the temperature, the quicker it will dehydrate. When it starts to feel dry to the touch on top, you can break it up into the size pieces you want, and then continuing dehydrating until dry. But you know, you can do it in the oven. Just be very careful. I would do the lowest setting. I would stir it around every 5 to 10 minutes. But I find that it just clumps better and cooks more evenly, or not cooks, but dehydrates more evenly. And then if you want to add dried fruit, you're getting jumbo raisins in yours. You can do goji berries or dried cranberries. You do the dried fruit after, because there's no point in dehydrating dried fruit that's already been dehydrated. If anybody watches the show, do you have a favorite episode? Because I have one, and I'm going to ask Julieanna her favorite. If you ever see the one with Dr. Joel Furman, where he pretends to be a French chef. He's executive chef in a restaurant in France. He's originally from Flemington, France. His name is Chef Flemington, France. His name is Chef Jolie Furman. Oh my God, I know who he is. Oh, we gotta be serious though. Bonjour.
Bonjour, bonjour.
Oh, chef.
Bonjour.
Oh my God.
The healthy food from France. From France,
Wow,
from
my God.
my hometown.
Thank
The
you.
AUX de Provence, the French Florence.
Okay.
See how it's hard to open?
Salt, like real salt? It's hard to open because
you're not supposed to eat it.
poison in it.
No, I show you.
Oh my
Wait,
God.
no, just watch.
Don't please,
Just watch. Please, because this is not French. This is not French. This is French. Watch.
Oh my God!
Oh, look. This not French. Watch. French. I show you French.
Yes.
Watch.
do you guys know Dr. Furman? I got to go to the market with him and buy white flour, white sugar, and Crisco, and white buns. And it was like the funnest, most fun shopping trip ever, and he did get recognized.
And he was recognized, yeah.
That was a fun episode. I also love the episode we did, a live episode with Dr. T. Colin Campbell,
Right.
and we made him massage the kale chips, and then we kissed him and surprised him at the end.
Oh my God.
So, I'm going to ask the good doctor to please put these gloves on.
Gosh.
And I like the one where I was wearing a Scooby costume for Halloween, and you were wearing a kimono. So I'm really excited about this Halloween episode because we are going to show parents and the world once and for all, you don't need sugar to have a delicious, healthy treat. Am I right or am
Absolutely, you're right. I mean, it's part of the fun is, excuse me, I'm losing a chopstick.
Okay.
Part of the fun,
It's a good teaching
it's
tool.
a good teaching tool. Pay attention, Scooby. It's important to, let the kids have fun, of course, but there are healthy options for healthier treats. You don't have to be the dud on the street that gives out the toothbrushes. I know the dentist
Right.
families always give out toothbrushes, but you can get some fun, like even organic, sugar-free lollipops. I use those every year,
Right.
where they have their fruit juice sweetened lollipops.
Yeah, we had some good memories, AJ.
Thank you guys so much for watching another live episode of The Chef and the